We found another cheap hotel room for tonight here in Santa Cruz, but often you get what you pay for, and this would definitely be one of these times. This bed that I'll be sharing with Will later is about the lumpiest, dumpiest, frumpiest piece of garbage in the shape of a bed I've ever laid upon. So maybe we would have been better in the car, but we got baseball and we got a bathroom. What's going on in here?
I'm trying to see if I can play this song tonight. I want to play it, but I don't know if I got it good enough.
When you live on top of each other for so long, you just kind of get used to your buddy going through his set in the bathroom. I don't mind it. Just got done with our sound check here in Santa Cruz, and we're cruising back to the room because we still have 2 hours before the show starts. We just received an email today, which is Monday, from the venue on Friday. The venue on Friday wants to cancel the show due to lack of Facebook interest. I've never seen that happen before, but I guess it happens. So, not that we were guaranteed any money, but the possibility of making any money or new friends on Friday or any connection whatsoever is kaput. In my opinion, I find it a mistake to get angry. You don't ever know what's going on in somebody else's life or in their camp. So, you know, the big takeaway is that though we're bummed and we don't like for shows to be canceled, especially when we're this far out, but we're not upset or angry with anyone. You know, again, we just don't know what's going on, and that's just kind of the best attitude to take, really. So, you know, I've always heard the term or the philosophy, the squeakiest wheel gets the grease. But, you know, I don't like those kind of people, and I don't like to live that way, honestly. I'm not trying to, you know, I don't know. I'm not trying to be anything I'm not. Being out on the road, you just never know.
Oh, Jesus.
We had a great show tonight here in Santa Cruz. It was a small crowd, but man, were they not grateful and giving. So whenever God closes the door, it's likely that God's drunk brother Todd, while on the roof straightening the antenna, will fall through and with him bring the sunlight. Thank you, Todd. We slept in somebody's yard one time about a decade ago. I think we were parked like right around here.
Yeah, definitely.
Nobody called the cops on us.
No, I mean, we were parked along the road in a parking spot.
Well, what do you think of Santa Cruz? Not that we've never been here before.
Seems very beachy keen.
Well, yada yada yada. Heading towards San Francisco. kind of looks like the Giants and the Yankees are playing today, which is typically cool, but that's where we're going down there. Oh no. Now the parking game. Well, we found parking somehow, not too far from the venue here downtown San Francisco. And this is the job. This is what they pay us for. It's not to play. It's to sit in your car for hours. We have nowhere to go and no extra money to go there with. So this is it. Chilling. Get tired of sitting in the van. Went for a little walk. Found a nice little spot on the shady side of the sidewalk to chill. Obviously there's always plenty of places to walk and go see. Seeing the sights doesn't really mean much to me. At the end of the day, I'm a carny. Buy a t-shirt. Now that is a trip. Leaving San Francisco, it struck me that it only takes one person to make a bad show a good show.
Rack 'em.
That's the truth.
When you speak, it's red wine. Who cut off the oxygen? Who cut off the oxygen?
We're heading down the hill from Camino, California, where our friends Jen and Jerome have taken great care of us, letting us crash at their house and letting us do laundry and feeding us a feast. We are on our way to Rancho Cordova, California for a night show. Looking forward to it.
Trying to get some good service here so we can do this PayPal here. Merch transaction. Inside it was slow as dang Christmas.
Look what I got. The last unopened Austin Lucas Immortal Americans beer. That's right, Pukas. It's mine, baby. Thank you very much. Okay, this is my buddy Brian. He owns Claim Steak Brewing here in Sacramento. He just housed us for yet another great show. They make great beers. We're going to collaborate on a beer coming up. We'll see what happens.
Can't put the details out yet. And the way we run our shows here at Claim Steak is, we don't want to take money from your craft. You guys earn your craft. You earn your gate. We sell our beer. That's our art. And together with your art and our art, we can just make great things happen together. Beer and music are the same. We're putting our souls into what we do. Sometimes, I daydream of playing that guitar and be able to sing songs, but I can't. So I make beer, and that's where I put my artistic effort out into.
You make a hell of a beer, brother.
I appreciate you.
Thank you so much,
Play
man.
a hell of a song.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Okay, well, here's some of our good homies up in NorCal. Did I say it right?
Sierra Nevada foothills.
And these are our people who always help us out, and these are just our friends. So hello, friends.
I'm plastered to the wall. Adam, quick. Thompson twins or the Cocteau twins?
Oh, Cocteau twins, man.
Or twins with Arnold Schwarzenegger and Danny DeVito?
Cocteau twins.
Cocteau, I believe.
Cocteau.
Good answer.
Well, since our show was canceled in Oroville for last night,
Big bummer we got to chill out in Sacramento an extra day at our friend's house where the beds are cushy and the soap operas are mushy. We live better here in Sacramento than we do in Arkansas. Forget you, Arkansas. We're moving to Rancho Cordova. Having the day off to just chill and watch TV and lay around in this bed doesn't make it easy to get back in the van.
Hello, stinky hot van. Well, we've been on the road for approximately 2 minutes since we've left Jen's house, and it's back in my blood. I'm glad to be on the old blacktop in the old Vandy coffin on the way to the next show. Even though only half of the air conditioner works, thank God it's my half. For the last 2 or 3 nights, we've had to spend no money. And we did so well at our Sacramento show that here we are drinking the good stuff, green tea. And tonight in Medford, also due to their kindness and helping us save money, we got a hotel room. Yeah. Oh.
It's lonely at the top.
I feel like I've failed to mention the story of us knowing Jen and Jerome, because it ties really deeply into what it is to live on the road a large part of your life. Not even a year ago, back in June, we were playing at the Westport Saloon in Kansas City. That is nowhere near Sacramento, California. Jerome and Jen and a bunch of their friends were out on business in Kansas City, and they were in the alley behind the saloon where I was hanging out before our show. They had a wacky t-shirt on and they commented on it, so we just talked to them long enough basically to where they're like, oh, you know what, let's check out this band before we keep walking. And ultimately they liked the music enough to where we became friends. And Jen had just bought her house up here, and a shot in the dark asked if we would be available or interested in playing our housewarming party in September. The luck of it, we were already booking a tour out west for that time, and it just linked up and made it work, and we went and played her backyard, and they treated us really well, paid us really well, we partied really well, and everything was just awesome. So just for one happenstance meeting in the alley behind a club across the country with people we didn't know, we gained some friends that now we can seek refuge with anytime we're in North California. We're here loading in beautiful Medford.
We had a good show in Medford tonight, and really pumped about heading up to Prineville tomorrow to see our friend Jerry play out on her farm in the yurt house show and a yurt show. 918 3405.
Oh,
Adam, quick. Lil Wayne or Lil Yachty?
who?
Lil Wayne or Lil Yachty?
Who?
Jefferson Airplane or Jefferson Starship? Or George Jefferson?
Little Yachty?
Not a bad choice, I think.
Green tea.
That sign back there said, we're at low risk of fire today. And here we are, a fire. Prineville. Trees. We had a great show in the yurt. You know, my voice is still cracked out. It's getting better every day, but it's not where I want it to be, which makes the trip a whole lot more work than it should be, to be honest. But, you know, people have been kind.
One thing that was really interesting during your set, right outside the yurt here, I could hear some guinea hens fighting.
Yeah, I thought that was somebody's cell phone at first.
Well, dude, it was interesting because it was almost like, oh, cool. Faucett songs have beats now.
Dude, I totally thought that.
Did you really?
Yeah.
What you doing, Adam?
Get my bed ready.
Oh, yeah. It's getting down to the 30s tonight.
You make the best scrambled eggs.
Right
Right on the farm, yep.
on the farm bucket.
That's Matt.
Yep.
And this is our friend Jerry, who owns the farm and owns the yurt and is just one of the coolest people in the world. Good morning, Jerry.
Good morning.
So I have traded for an obsidian knife
California.
on a dig or something, or
Surveys and digs, yep, we were working. And when you do archaeology, you have a Native American monitor with you, whether you're walking or digging. And this was given to me by the monitor that worked with me. So, yeah.
I will have this thing forever.
Like
And it rattles.
It rattles. Oh, it's gonna be sitting next to the 150-year-old beer bottle you gave me last year.
Sure is a beautiful farm you got here.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Glad you're here.
Yeah, I am too. We're really out in the middle of nowhere right now.
You seem to have built up a consistent and successful series here at the yurt outside of Prineville.
Well, I had the yurt, which is a 30-foot yurt, so I had the space. I'd had other events in there before, but not music necessarily. Occasionally, I started bringing in local musicians and to my farm events when I'd do like a farm tour. And they'd come in and they would play, often in the yurt to be out of the wind. I met Chris Darby, and Chris does the music for Crooked River Brewing here in town, which is a small town. After we got to talking, he decided or suggested that the yurt would make a great place for musicians to play, and that since he had been on the road in the past and knew a lot of musicians from his past days, he started suggesting the yurt. It's by invitation only, so that we're not just inviting the open public and have no idea who's coming. We have a pretty good idea that the people coming are going to be into it. We are in the middle of nowhere, and if the musicians didn't stop by here, the folks that live here would never hear this kind of music or have this kind of cultural experience. And it's the same thing for like you from Arkansas. You're getting to see a piece of this world.
Right.
You know.
Which we never would have.
Or you never would have. Yes. 17 years I've been here. In fact, I'm an accidental farmer because I had done archaeology for 20 years professionally, and I had equipment that needed storage. So when I was looking for land to store my archaeology equipment, this came up as a #1 option to check out because it's dry. And archaeology was that's kind of when there was that down low economy thing, and there just wasn't work available. The idea was to recreate and still go out on digs, but come back here to rest. But what happened is when I was married at the time, and we were ready to buy 40 acres of just sandy loam, sagebrush, and rock. And we came home from making the final offer and everything on that piece of land. And this place, we were sitting having a beer, looking at Barnes Butte over there. And it just reached up and grabbed me. For the same price of 40 dry acres, we got 10 irrigated acres. And now, after 17 years, for the last couple of years, I've been downsizing. It's just me on the farm for the last 6 years. And it's too much for me to do.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at different things, and that's why things with the yurt are happening. I want to keep the music going. The people that come really enjoy it, and the camaraderie is amazing. And I want to bring in more workshops and do more with it.
Yeah,
you know?
that's
because
awesome.
we're in the middle of nowhere and we need culture here.
Oh, that's beautiful.
So.
That's beautiful.
Okay, this is the yurt.
Yep.
It's been up for over a dozen years.
Watch your
And
head.
we're a mess. Yeah, watch your head. And this is the backdrop that we use. These are early 1800s. They're Hudson Bay blankets.
Wow.
So they were traded to the tribes generally for beaver skins. And the value of this blanket is in the number of lines. So this is at 3.5, and they get up to 9.
Wow.
9.
What do you think would determine the value? Just the thickness, or?
Yeah, they would be thicker as they go. So this is a medium blanket. But yeah, that's what this would have been. And these are typical Hudson Bay colors.
Cool.
So you'll still see these in like Pendleton blankets now. And you'll get it. But this is the original Hudson Bay blankets.
Wow.
So nothing but good comes from the farm. And the farm is getting old and it needs to be repaired. So I'm putting together a GoFundMe to raise enough money to replace the outside edges. And then the floor was put in immediately because I was in a hurry. This is pond liner.
Yeah, okay.
This is pond liner. And after all these years, it's got valleys and the rocks are coming through it. And we had the big snow. It flooded in here. It came up from the holes where the rocks are, and we had 4 inches of mud and water in here. So I need to put this up on a wood floor, which is the way it's supposed to be set up.
Right.
So with any luck, the GoFundMe will make it happen, and in August we will have an event where we take down the whole yurt.
Wow.
Put the floor on and then reset it up again. I'm gonna give it to build the floor and everything. I think it's gonna take a full month or at least 3 weeks. I mean, this yurt is given so much, but it's time to give for the yurt.
Right. I agree. Man, this is just an all-out educational, cultural, educational yurt and farm. And best of luck to you, and I hope to come back because I love you and I love this place.
I hope you come back too because I love you too.
Thank you.
My name is Jerry Costa Dotson, and it's Jerre
Yeah.
Kosta, and the farm is called Dancing Cow Farm, and I have Facebook on both of those, and this is the yurt, so one of those will be a keyword for finding me.
Cheers, my friend.
To you.
To you. To the yurt. Man, I could probably make a whole movie on just about any of the people we bump into out here. And definitely Jerry. Very interesting person, very interesting life story. Wish I could get it all. Obviously can't. Well, anyway, thanks for hanging out. We're on our way to Portland right now. So as always, if you like the show, eat my shorts. And you should really try to make your own video, because I'm interested. We'll see you later.